Musical World TV. 100 keer reportages, 100 keer aandacht voor het vak, maar vooral 100 keer liefde voor het vak. Blijf het vak mooi vinden. Blijf ik jullie mooi vinden.
Musical World TV, van harte gefeliciteerd met jullie 100ste reportage en dat we maar snel naar de 200 gaan.
Dank voor alle felicitaties. Het is waar, musicalworld.tv viert vandaag zijn 100ste reportage. En dat doen we niet 1 keer, maar wel met 3 reportages. En dat doen we hier achter mij, San Francisco, Californië. William Spy, Paul Enens. Ik vind jullie fantastisch, maar vandaag denk ik eens even aan mezelf. De eerste man die ik ga interviewen is iemand die ik al jaren de hand wil schudden. En vandaag gaat het gebeuren.
Hello everyone in Holland, my name is Anthony Rapp from Rent, and congratulations to musicalworld.tv on your 100th show.
Niet vergeten, alleen op musicalworld.tv. Het is ons gelukt. Naast mij Anthony Rapp van Rent. Ik heb hem 2 keer gesproken over de phone, maar nu zie ik hem eindelijk face-to-face. Anthony, thanks for having us.
Thank you for having me.
How do you document real life when real life's getting more like fiction each day? Headlines, breadlines blow my mind, and now this deadline, eviction or pay. Rent!
In practical terms, it opened up a tremendous number of doors and opportunities for me, both as an actor and as a director and as a person, to be able to travel where I've been able to travel, to be able to meet some of the people I've gotten to meet, you know, luminaries and politicians and you know, other fellow actors and artists and directors that I might not have otherwise had the opportunity to meet. So it changed my life in terms of I never would have done those things, but more profoundly it changed my life in that it affirmed for me the notion that I've always had that if you do things for the right reasons, which for me are, you know, artistic excellence and to try to make a difference and to try to collaborate, bring people together for to come together and express the best parts of themselves. If you do that, that can be met with success. That's an idealistic way to look at things. So the fact that we did come together for all those reasons and we were met with success is profoundly life-changing because it kills cynicism.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's continued to have such a life and continues to this day means so much to so many people. I just feel so fortunate for that.
Just snap pictures as it goes along.
I do know for sure that there are lots and lots of young people today seeing it who would have been not born or very, very, very young when the show premiered and are as moved by it, as affected by it, as into it as anyone who saw it back in '96. What's also been really gratifying is encountering people who did see it in '96, who loved it, and have come back to it to see this tour, and are sometimes even more moved by it. Partly because they can reflect back on their lives and all that's happened to them in that time, partly because it just resonates differently, as you know, as many things do as we get older. Different things affect us more profoundly at times. I mean, we've lived more life, we've had more experience, we've had more loss, and Rent is about all of those things, and it can touch on different parts of yourself at any given time based on what you're going through. That's one of the reasons I think it continues to be so meaningful to people, is that it always feels like it's reflective of life experience.
If you get in with me, let's go out tonight. I have to go out tonight.
What do you say to all that criticism that Rent has become old-fashioned?
Well, I mean, it is a period piece. It's about a very specific period of time in New York City when these particular crises were taking hold of very particular specific communities of people. But those are the specifics of the story, but the larger themes are perennial and timeless and universal, which is why La Boheme, you know, 13 years later is still as powerful as it is. I mean, we are not dealing with consumption in the way that they were in those days, but anyone at any time could be dealing with the impending loss of people they love, illness, struggle, heartbreak, and especially now with the economic crisis that many countries in the world and many people around the world have been going through, the economic struggles of the characters feel even more meaningful and relevant to a lot of people. That there has been a time over the years where people said, well, why don't they just get a job? And that's the question that's not so easily thrown around these days.
No.
You know, more and more people are finding it difficult to find a way to make ends meet.
Today's of inspiration, playing hooky, making something out of nothing. The need to express, to communicate, to going against the grain, going insane, going mad.
You auditioned with a special song for Rent.
Yes.
What was that?
Losing My Religion?
Yes.
The R.E.M. song?
Why did you pick that song?
I had been taking class for a number of years with a wonderful teacher named Sandy Shurin in New York City, and one of the exercises that we did in the class was called the Hero Exercise, where we had to take someone that we held in very high esteem, who was very inspiring to us, an artist. It could be anybody, a person, an artist, a politician, a writer, and for me, one of the people was Michael Stipe, the lead singer of R.E.M. There was something about his expression and his whole approach to it that just was very inspiring to me. And so the song I did, the exercise I did was I sang Losing My Religion in class. And it had been very, very meaningful to me and exciting. And so when the Rent audition came around, it just felt like a very natural fit. Because I feel like in auditions in general, when you're auditioning with material that you pick, I think it's important for actors to do things that really resonate for them. That they shouldn't just do something that they think is the right thing to do. They should do something that expresses themselves, and that was one of those songs for me.
And why did you think they chose you?
I mean, hard for me to say exactly,
sure.
but
Didn't they tell you?
They didn't. I never had a frank conversation with anyone about it, honestly. I just know that they responded, I think, to my energy, and I've always tried to approach my work with honesty, and I think that's probably part of it. I think Jonathan, I know Jonathan was a fan of my work in the movie Dazed and Confused. I don't know if that had any real effect, but that was one thing that he did tell me. He really loved that movie. I had auditioned for Michael Greif before and had been called back for a production of The Seagull, the Chekhov play, and I hadn't gotten it, but it had been a really good audition experience, so I think that probably helped in some ways, just the fact that I'd had that previous experience with him, that we had worked well together in an audition situation. So it could be any combination of factors. I'm not really sure, honestly. I'm just lucky. I feel lucky and grateful. I was really struggling at the time and hadn't worked in a while, and was really kind of feeling kind of desperate. And had I gotten close to other big jobs leading up to that point, had I gotten any of those big jobs, I wouldn't have been free to do Rent. So I just feel like it's fate.
This guitar and pizza just won't shut up. I believe if you play non-stop.